In the 90s, Playmates Toys made the deepest line of Star Trek action figures in history. My name's Keith, and I'm a collector working towards owning all 284. I've been a Trek fan for almost 35 years, and most people are sick of me talking about it. But somehow I've convinced my old friend Mike to review them with me on Look at My Star Trek Toys!
Holy crap! Welcome to Look at My Star Trek Toys, but today it's opposite day because we are looking at my Star Trek toys. I'm Mike Indeglio, and generally I look at my buddy Keith's Star Trek toys, but because Playmates, let's just say they're taking their time shipping the samples, we've taken matters into our own hands. Keith last week took a look at the 2022 Playmates classic Star Trek line. We looked at Data, and today, Keith, I decided it was time for me to receive my very first Playmates action figure. And I decided, even though, Picard was my guy growing up, there's no better place to start than at the very beginning, Keith. And so today I present to you.
Wow.
Captain James T. Kirk from the new classic Star Trek line. He is my very first Playmates Star Trek action figure. So today we're going to take an in-depth look. I'm leading the charge. Keith, how do you feel being on the other end in the Tiny Keith box?
Oh, snarky Mike stuff. Rah, 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 rah. I have a hat on. Look at me.
That didn't go as you had planned, I don't think.
I can't wear a hat. My head's too big. But this is so much fun. It's opposite day. Mike is in charge of the show. I'm just here. Just here to be the cool guy. I'm so excited.
We've got new tech running, so you can imagine things are going to blow up. We've got old Kirk on Keith's side of the world. We've got new Kirk on my side of the world. So
That's
much
right.
to take a look at. I think it's time we just jump right in. But we'd like to thank our patrons who will show up on the screen right now. I don't know their names.
It's part of the host's responsibility.
Come on now.
Is to have the patrons ready to go, buddy.
I don't know what to tell you.
That's how that works. But luckily, I do, as the co-host, as the backup, as the mic. Our patrons are Brian Kaufman, Casey Clark, Cloudlover69, Jorge Navoa, and the mysterious Alan Zimmerman, CRM Productions, Charles Babbage, and Kyle Sweeney, and you can join them on patreon.com/K&M.
All
Mike,
right.
I'm so excited for this. I know you're the host, right? I know you're in charge,
Yes.
but here I am. I just have to say, and I texted you this. See, hats are just a terrible thing for me. I am so honored and excited to have created the monster that is Mike. This is Mike's first ever Playmate Star Trek toy. And I did not tell him to do this. I did not encourage him to do this. He did this all of his own volition. Our Mikey is growing up. I'm so excited.
I should say, well, first let's bring him in. I should say that I went into my local Walmart and my local Target to see if perhaps there was any early shipping that had taken place of any of the new line. And the answer is no. Everything
I don't
is
think they're
still
on the shelves yet.
Yeah,
No.
everything is still in pre-order status. And so on Amazon, the only ones I could find were Data, Kirk, is Saru? Am I saying that right?
Saru, yeah.
Is available on the Amazon, and a couple of other that would ship towards the end of September. So it seems like these are the ones that are out in the wild so far. So I know we're not breaking any news, but here we are, Keith. So here he is.
I'm so excited.
Let's go ahead and take a look. Let me go over to Toy Cam only here.
Yeah.
And let's take a look at the box before we destroy it.
Yes. And then, let's take a look at it, and then we can compare it against the old box, which I have here.
Oh, I can't wait. So you did say, Keith, that these like collector's edition boxes are only here in the States. Is that right?
That's right. Or North America. I think Canada has this as well, but in the UK and Australia, they have the generic Star Trek boxes.
All right, so this is the 40-year anniversary, I guess, of the Wrath of Khan, is what we're learning here?
Oof, oh boy, I feel old.
Yeah. Oof. So this is the classic Trek movie series. Let's see. We've got our plastic choking hazards, which we've agreed
Hmm.
look more realistic in the plastic in the gray plastic. We've got the
That's right.
base, which Keith and I are not quite sold on. It's a little bit on the cheaper side. However, I'm going to say, Keith, having one in my hands, I know that I was a little skeptical of the data, but the
Hmm.
sculpt is actually very good,
Yeah,
as you can
I
see
mean
here.
that looks great. I'm already noticing a bunch of differences
Well,
from the other version of Kirk.
what I'm liking here already, and I don't have it in hand yet, is he looks a little bit less like a GI Joe superhero, and more he's stout. He's well fed as a captain would be.
Well, I mean that's the captain's prerogative. Yeah, I mean, yeah,
Uh,
that's true. It doesn't have quite the bulge that mine would have, but
mhm.
it has some heft to it. It's got
Well,
gravitas. I like that.
I want to while I'm doing this, I want to pop over to Toy Cam 2 here,
Yes.
and let's take a look at the old box.
Right, which is very similar. That you have it's slightly rearranged, right? Because we saw the picture and once Mike gets it side by side, you'll be able to tell. But the perfect. There we go. We're so close. We're
We're
so
getting there. We're
close.
getting there.
They on the painting, they actually did I don't know if they had to repaint it or did they do some rearranging in Photoshop because you can see the planet here, the moon, whatever that is, moved
Mm.
behind the Enterprise there, but it's very, very similar. Definitely getting that retro feel. It feels um, very much in keeping like the other one. It's obviously a smaller scale.
Hmm.
It's shrunk down, but it looks it's certainly instantly recognizable as the classic Trek movie series line, which is great. I mean, this is obviously a Spock one, but yeah, I mean, I'm getting all the feels from it.
Yeah, I mean,
It
it's
you know,
giving absolutely.
it's a lot of people are dismayed that we get a little bit less cardboard back up there, but I don't know. For me, like they changed all sorts of things about it. That change is not nearly as big as the change between the rectangular boxes and then the warp factor
Right.
boxes.
That. Yeah.
And besides which, it's using less packaging, which I don't necessarily hate. I think it's a good compromise that they made. Oh, we did a synchronized flip and everything. That was
Hmm.
great. So yeah, very, very similar back. Again, has a lot of nods to the original. Similarly, oh wait, hold on. I just Mike, I'm being me. I got to be you.
You're
I
right.
don't know, Mike. What's different there?
Well, Keith, I think one thing we pointed out last week, which I think points to the maybe the production process, and what kind of got first. We've got the pictures of the other figures in the line are actual photographs here, or I guess less
Hmm.
photographs and more, I guess, sort of like presidential paintings, if you will. Uh,
Yes.
they're full illustrated renderings versus the actual pictures of the figures on the retro box.
Right. Right.
But regardless of that, we've got our Q code over here, which I still am using my phone now. So we've yet to. Has anyone scanned a Q code yet?
Oh wait, I'm gonna do it. Let's find out.
Yeah, we'd like to know what that
So
is.
keep talking about the differences. I'm gonna do it.
All right, Keith is Q coding. I'm gonna pop back over to my full thing here. So
Okay, it takes you to the website, the Playmates website, which I love the retroness of it, but it's not super functional.
well, maybe that's the nice thing about a website is you can update that.
You can. Yeah, it just takes you to the Playmates website.
I like that you can cut out this little collector's bio.
Oh yeah, well
That's cool.
that's also remember the old GI Joes had that too.
Yep. And I didn't remember the sort of like fully detailed. Is this on the old box? The fully detailed explanation of the choking hazards.
Yes, it does. And has pictures of them. It's very similar.
That's cool. That's very cool, actually. All right. Well, Keith, there's only one other thing to do
Oh
here,
boy,
and I
I'm
think
nervous.
it's time to for
Think
me
it's
to
think
open
it's
my first box.
time to break the seal.
Yep.
Wow.
What's the better angle to do this? Under the toy cam or?
Yeah, probably under the toy cam. Yeah.
All right, here we go. I'm gonna
Oh.
bring my microphone with me. Just let's do this together. It's so exciting.
Oh. He's gonna NPR the box.
All right. Oh,
Okay.
so really interesting, Keith. I don't know if you had. There's almost no glue on this box.
People have complained about that
Wow.
online. Yeah.
But that helps you if I am somewhat diligent here. Almost no paint is coming off. Well, a little bit, but almost none. Okay, over here
That's true. Well, that's the benefit, I guess.
over here's a little more. But had I used an X-Acto, I think I could have really done this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, as soon as you start getting into customizing them,
All right. Well, there we go.
there it is.
All right, here he is. And as you had noted before, he's much more tied in than I had expected.
He's got the seat belts.
All right,
Safety first, Mike.
You're right. Oh, here, let me get his little stand. Okay, so I haven't opened an action figure since like helping the kids on Christmas. I haven't had one of my own in a while, and I have this utter glee right now that I really can't explain.
It's really something special. In fact, the neighbors' kids we were just chatting the other day.
The
They're
phaser
in the
is really
backyard, and every time like I come across a kid, I go down to the basement and I give him one of the because I have a whole mess of the old original line. So I hand out the boxed figures and watch them open them.
I gotta
as
say
I
the
try to
phaser is
proselytize.
really cool.
Yeah.
So the paint job, excellent, is really cool here. I'm gonna go over to full toy cam here.
Full toy cam.
We're actually getting okay. Yeah. So how can I get him out of here? Come on, Kirk.
Well, you got to undo the seat belts.
Do they go
That's
behind?
the most difficult part of the. But while you're doing that, I'll point out some of the differences between this and the Generations one line immediately, and that is the gold trim around the tunic there, going down the sort of shoulder and the side. Oh, Mike's getting serious. He's got a knife plus gold trim around the wrist. Although I wonder if that is original series nerds will know better than I do, but I wonder if that's an Admiral to Captain thing, as opposed to a difference in the. Careful there, buddy.
I know. I got him.
Don't get blood on your first new action figure. Nobody wants that. Okay, seatbelts done.
Oh, the articulation is nuts.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. That is really hard to do upside down. You're not kidding. So yeah.
Welcome to my nightmare.
So the first things, look, I'm going to be honest with you. From just flat down, the crotch looks a little weird, right? But once you kind of get it upright and start articulating, it's much less of an issue for me. Plus, the sort of tunic area of the uniform kind of covers it, and this is just not articulate. The rotation is like full.
Yeah.
That's really. I mean, you can really make them look silly. Keith, I want to mention a lot of people had mentioned in our comments in the date action figure that these guys scale perfectly into the ships and into the play sets, and that's where a lot of the benefits coming from. Look, let's get a look at that facial sculpt there.
Yeah, I mean, boy, that's not bad.
That is pretty good. The paint is really well done. I love the communicator.
Yeah.
I think the piping on the uniform, it doesn't even camera, this really nice iPhone camera isn't completely doing justice to just how kind of cool it looks. The detailing is really well done.
Yeah, that's a good shot of it. And that's what I mean about the silver piping on the
This is terrible.
Yeah.
This is terrible.
Yeah, I don't know why they would do that.
And it's embossed. I don't know if we mentioned that before. It's embossed. So
yes,
it is
it's not
textured.
even, you can't do anything. You
You
can't even
couldn't.
get rid of
I
it.
guess you could attempt to sand it off and repaint, but that's a whole thing.
Yeah,
And
it sure
you're
is.
right, it does have symboling at the bottom.
Oh, what is that? What does that say?
It says
LH.
LH2132.
Well, that's what mine does too. Okay, that's what the data does as well. So that must be
A batch number?
a batch number, but not specific to the figure,
Yeah, maybe just the run.
which is interesting.
And there's much head articulation, which is really cool.
Right, because it's the head's on a sort of a ball joint as well.
So you can get full 360 if you wanted to go poltergeist style.
I didn't even dare.
I mean, it is full, you know.
Yeah, I mean it's the articulation is wildly improved.
And
And
I'm gonna say for the record here, folks, I disagree with Keith. I do not find the hands to feel mini.
well, I wonder, are the Kirk hands? Somebody was saying that the Spock hand or that the Data hands are smaller because those look fine. Those look perfectly proportioned. That the
Let's
Data hands are smaller than the rest of the hands.
let's get a phaser in there and see how we. Oh yeah. Pew, pew.
Yeah. Well, and also his choking hazards don't have the loop on them that Data's did
Oh, that's
to
true.
hold on to.
His
That's
his
interesting.
is sort of sculpted to fit right in,
Yeah.
which is really rad if you see that.
Yeah, that looks great. Yeah, play with the knees. The knees, I think, are the most important, most impressive
Yeah.
part of this whole figure.
Now they articulate in a way that I don't think they should. This also has a 360-degree range, if you see.
Yeah, well, I mean, our knees do too if you're willing to, willing to do it.
That's fair, I guess. The foot, I think, is cool too. The flex
Foot's
foot.
yeah, the foot articulation. And I don't think I said this enough on the Data thing, that the articulation's ability to be seamless is very impressive.
Mm-hmm.
Right, because the classic one, you see the joint, you see the cuts, you see the notches, whether it was the thigh articulation or the knee or the elbow, you can see the whole joint, you can see the whole elbow thing. This is, you can't see it. The
Right.
seams sort of much more seamlessly blend in. It's very impressive. Like I get it, it's different, and it's whatever. You either like it being different or you don't. It's very
Whoa.
impressive craftsmanship being able to do that, and the proportions are more accurate in all ways. It's different than the classic line for sure, but the
Okay.
proportions are more accurate.
So Keith, our Starfleet risk communicator
Uh-huh.
does snap on. So he's got that situation, which is kind of cool.
Cool.
I will tell you this though, right up there with the cheapy stand.
Yeah.
The second thing is the captain's log, which is a portable electronic device for recording personal log entries during Starfleet missions. Now, luckily, my camera is doing good macro right now, macro shots. So I want to just show you this utter piece of trash.
It's just a piece of. Well,
There's no detailing. Look,
no, that's ridiculous.
wait. That's one side. You see that is the big
Right.
that is a nothing.
That's the backside.
I mean, that's just a waste. What is this?
I mean, they did say on the Data choking hazards, because I didn't have the original one in box. It is the same choking hazards as the 90s line. So your complaint about the simplicity of that needs to be forwarded to 1995. I think.
Okay. At least try some detailing on the phaser or whatnot.
Yeah. Although I wonder if that had a sticker originally. Somebody will answer that question. But I actually really do like that it is the same choking hazards.
It doesn't fit as. Oh no, it fits pretty good in there, I gotta say. All right, should we pull in the old Kirk and take some looks?
Yeah. Let's do a Kirk side by side, a Kirk by side.
I saw what you did there. I saw what you did there.
It wasn't really much good.
Clean up my desk here. Sorry. This is. I don't know the last time I had this much fun. So thanks for being with us, everyone. All right, let's go to Toy Cam 2.
No, I just like to point it out. Mike now has a Star Trek figure that I don't have.
That's Crazy Town.
I mean, I will. I mean, don't get me wrong. We are going to work week by week and eventually have all of these. All right, here we go. Kirk by Kirk.
The fact that we can do this is insane.
Well, we live in the future.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to scale him up on my end to be the same size here. So I need to be a little smaller. Okay, so first off, a couple of like very obvious things. The proportions are different, and that's hard to tell. I need to improve my my toy cam webcam. The tunic is shorter.
Mm-hmm.
You do not have the gold piping going up on the side there or on the wrist, but I think that's Admiral versus Captain. But I could be wrong. Yeah, I mean, obviously, if you do you have a ruler? Because this Kirk here now, because we can actually measure things. This was Mike's idea to get this.
I do have. I can do this.
What Mike said about the the thigh gap, as we were talking about, it really does. Once he squeezes his legs together or does something that is much less noticeable.
So I don't know what I was. I guess my knife isn't what I thought. So it is exactly 5 inches.
Yeah, or just one. Yeah. Okay. And that's what data is, and that is what it is advertised to be. So what I'm curious to see once we get them all together is, granted they're all roughly 5 inches, but are they all exactly 5 inches, or are there variations based on the height of the actors? Because you would think, I mean, I guess a Shatner and a Brent Spiner are roughly the same height. They're not super tall. But I want to see like Frakes next to Patrick Stewart and see if Frakes is taller, because that I think would be a little annoying if they are different. They are not in scale with themselves, regardless of whether or not they're in scale with the '90s line. But I don't know. I think that looks great.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't. The hands were kind of our big point of contention last week, and this week I think, for me at least, that thing on the back is really sucks.
Yeah, I think that might be the biggest compromise out there. I got to say, because we've been talking about it and talking with folks online about this new line, and from seeing all the other various reviews, I'm getting more and more on board with this new line. I still have a few notes here and there, but I think the differences in terms of, yes, Michael.
No, my camera it should pan. And see. Yeah. Okay. I just want to see. I have to tell you, I think there's just a point. I'm trying to see. Can we focus? Yeah, there we go.
There we go.
That's a screenshot for you.
Well, no, you got to make it the same as mine. You gotta take your green screen in the wild, put it in your hand.
Yeah. So
it's Ruin Backwards Day.
I'm with Keith. I'm pro these figures. I love the matte paint. I think that we've talked about it on our custom shows quite often. The matte paint brings it a realistic look. They're very different than the other figures, I will say. They feel like a much more realistic sculpt. They're a little lighter they're on the lighter side, I would say, slightly.
Slightly, yes.
But their uniforms and even this tunic, I don't know, can you tell me there's a I don't know if let me go back to Toy Cam here. No. There is a movement to the skirt here.
Oh, is there really?
It's a flowy kind of plastic. Like I can.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah. So that, it kind of has its own.
Oh, wow. That's different.
It's textured in the sculpt, and up here there's no movement. But once you get below the belt, the sort of rippling in the uniform is sculpted in, but there's also movement. So it actually gives its own kind of impression of.
That's really cool. You heard it here first, folks. Mike says there's movement below the belt.
Yeah.
But yeah, oh, that's cool.
Yep.
That's new because I mean the Generations Kirk you could hammer and a nail with.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
So
with
I'm
no
gonna do
articulation.
something crazy here, Keith, before we wrap it up.
Yeah, what's that?
Um, I'm gonna give him his phaser. I'm putting him on his little stand. Okay.
Okay.
I'm giving him his phaser, and we'll do better. Like I've only got one now, folks. You know what I mean? Like so, it's the collection just beginning. But
Just you wait, buddy.
I am going to put him in pole position on my desk, and I'm going to take off toy cam here.
Okay.
Oh, toy cam disappeared entirely.
Oh, anything's happening. Something's happening.
Are we back on? Come on, toy cam.
No.
Hold on, Keith. It's going to be worth it. It's really going to be worth it.
I believe it. Everything we've done today has been 100% worth it.
I don't know why this keeps happening. It's really bothering me. This is important to me. Don't ruin this for me.
Yeah, well, look. Oh, there we go. Okay. All right. We're doing it. We're seeing a little bit of Mike's desk. We did for a hot
It
second.
keeps crashing. Everything's crashing today.
It's
Wait.
going into
Okay, we're back.
space. All right, I believe.
Come on, toy cam. NDI's broadcasting. Okay, hold on. Wait for it. Yes. All right,
Gotta
I'm
wait
over.
for it. Wait for it.
Toy cam. Oh my God, there's so many things happening. Okay, Keith, there it is.
There it is.
There's my very
On the
there's
desk.
above a pound puppy, which
Well-
is a different story entirely.
Oh, that looks great. I did a I was working. We actually did together a reading online earlier this week, and I had data on my desk looking back at me in like the exact same position for good luck. So cool. So yeah, so we're two figures in to the line, and we're eventually going to go through every single one of them, and are very excited to do in-depth reviews of them all. So, Mike, at the end of last episode, we gave Data 2 tiny thumbs up, and I think we should we go thumbs up, thumbs down for Wrath of Khan era Kirk from the 2022 Playmates line.
Keith, I'm giving it 2 regular size thumbs up with an embossed trademark logo, unfortunately, marring it on top, if that makes sense.
Okay. All right. So
find a way to make that SEO friendly and put it on the internet.
Yes. All right. Well. Once you take your picture, I'll add a bunch of copyright text over our
Yes.
thumb. It also gets a regular size thumbs up from me. So here we are. Double thumbs up. Copyright signal inclusive.
Again, Keith, can I say for the record,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I know that we're dealing with a lot of tech. It's not Keith and Mike don't promise you the most polished show. We just get it to you the fastest as we can. But
That's right.
In prep today, since you had an appointment before we were going to record, you know what I did?
What did you do, Mike?
I got a manicure.
Wow.
I paid money so that my hands weren't gross on camera. That's the kind of neuroses you come here for, folks.
That is so much information. There is so much information in that statement. Everybody here now knows Mike just a little bit better. First off, he's vain about his nails and his cuticles. He's a little judgy of mine. There's a lot going on there.
Well, yeah, it's a whole thing. I actually usually bite my nails, but I talked about this before. We talked about this on our other show.
That's right.
I would painted them black for the show I was doing, and so they grew, and I thought, hey, you know what? I'll get a mani for the show today.
Yeah. Well, we're certainly glad you did. Now, I would normally wrap it up with something pithy, but you know what? It's your job this time.
So, Keith, the sculpts are really good. We've seen Kirk, we've seen Data, we've seen things we know. I'm excited to get some of those Discovery line that it's not a show that we talk about, and I don't know much about, but they are a little more monstery. The Saru figure specifically, so I'm excited to look at an alien design in the new figure. I think that will be something new for us. Also, I believe if Playmates is supposed to be sending us some stuff, hopefully this week, so we'll see how that looks. And we've also got some of the weapons, the new phasers in. I've read some things. People are a little upset with it, but until we look at it ourselves, we can't give a rating. So there's more to come, folks. We've got other episodes of Toys. We've got our Deep Space Nine channel. Thank you to our patrons who fund the show. Thank you to you for watching. Give us a like, give us a subscribe. And I think that's all I got to say.
Yeah, well, I'm ready. Take us away.
Folks, until next time, this has been Look at My Star Trek Toys.
Look at my Star Trek toys!